In the shadows of Akhenaten, where the dying light of Aten cast long fingers across ancient stones, a secret burned like incense in the sacred chambers of forgotten temples. The year was 1334 BCE, and the heretic pharaoh Akhenaten had been dead for 3 years, his revolution buried beneath the sands of orthodox resurrection. Yet in the silence between the old gods and the new, something stirred, a truth so dangerous that scribes would later erase it from every cartouche, every papyrus, every whispered prayer. Her name was Ankhesenamun-Tesheret, though history would never record it. Born of shadow and starlight, she was the daughter Akhenaten never acknowledged, the child of a Nubian priestess who served in the temple of Isis before the Great Purge. While her half-sisters wore the crowns of queens, she learned to read the language of dreams and decode the mysteries hidden within the eye of Ra. "The feminine divine has been caged," whispered Heket, her teacher, as they descended into the underground chambers beneath Memphis. The old priestess moved like smoke through the corridors, her fingers trailing across hieroglyphs that seemed to glow in the torchlight. "Your father sought to destroy the old ways, but he understood only half the truth. Aten was never meant to stand alone." Ankhesenamun-Tesheret pressed her palm against the cool stone wall, feeling the pulse of something ancient and alive. "What did he miss, grandmother?" "The balance, child, the sacred marriage between Ra and Isis, between sun and moon, between the seen and unseen. Your father's revolution failed because it sought to eliminate the feminine mystery, not complete it. Ndashi, in these hidden sanctuaries, far from the watchful eyes of the new pharaoh Tutankhamun and his priests, the old teachings survived. Here, in chambers carved long before the first pyramid rose from the desert floor, Ankhesenamun-Tesheret learned that the Eye of Ra, that symbol of divine protection and fury, was incomplete without its counterpart, the Eye of Isis, the receptive wisdom that could transform raw solar power into life-giving abundance. The scrolls they studied were written in a script older than hieroglyphs, symbols that seemed to shift and breathe in the flickering light. "These were hidden when your father's agents came," Heket explained, unrolling a papyrus that crackled with age. "The temple guardians knew that someday the daughter would come to reclaim what was lost." Night after night, Ankhesenamun-Tesheret absorbed teachings that would have been branded as heresy in the upper world. She learned that Isis had once ruled as pharaoh in her own right, that the feminine aspect of divinity was not subordinate to the masculine, but its equal partner in creation. She discovered meditation techniques that opened inner chambers of consciousness, allowing her to commune directly with the goddess herself. "You are not here by accident," Isis spoke to her in a vision that came during the new moon. The goddess appeared as a woman of impossible beauty, her wings spanning the width of the chamber, her eyes holding the depth of eternity. "You carry within you the blood of pharaohs and the wisdom of priestesses. You are the bridge between what was and what must be." But bridging worlds required sacrifice. As Ankhesenamun-Tesheret's abilities grew, so did the danger. Spies in the temples reported strange occurrences, statues that wept, oracles that spoke in the forbidden names of goddesses, dreams that swept through Memphis like wildfire. The young pharaoh Tutankhamun, still struggling to legitimize his rule after his predecessor's controversial reign, could not afford another religious upheaval. The confrontation came on the night of the spring equinox. Temple guards surrounded the hidden sanctuary, their bronze weapons gleaming in the torchlight. At their head stood I, the power behind the throne, his weathered face set with grim determination. "Ankhesenamun-Tesheret," he called into the darkness. "Come forward, daughter of shadows. Your games end tonight." She emerged from the depths like a goddess herself, her white linen robes unmarked by the dust of the catacombs, her eyes blazing with an inner fire that made the guards step back involuntarily. In her hands, she carried a golden ankh that seemed to pulse with its own light. "Uncle A," she said, for he had been her father's trusted advisor, "you come to these sacred places with weapons. Do you not fear the judgment of the gods?" "The gods?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Your father thought he could reshape the divine order, and it destroyed him. His daughter will not repeat his folly. My father sought to eliminate the feminine divine," Ankhesenamun-Tasherit replied, raising the Ankh higher. "I seek to restore the balance he broke. Can you not see? Egypt bleeds because we have forgotten half of our souls." The Ankh in her hands began to glow brighter, and symbols appeared in the air around her. The Eye of Ra merged with the Eye of Isis, the solar disk crowned with the horns of the moon, the serpent of wisdom swallowing its own tail. The guards fell to their knees, overwhelmed by the presence of divine power. If you enjoy these kinds of stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our content. And tell us in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to know. But I remained standing, his will forged in the fires of political necessity. "Impressive," he acknowledged, "but divine power without earthly wisdom is worthless. You cannot rule Egypt from the shadows, girl. The people need stability, not more religious revolution. I do not seek to rule Egypt," she said softly. "I seek to heal it." The confrontation might have ended in bloodshed, but Heket stepped forward from the shadows, her ancient voice carrying the authority of countless generations. "Enough," she commanded. "The child speaks truth. Egypt suffers because we have broken the sacred marriage. The Nile runs low, the harvests fail, the people lose faith. Your young pharaoh sits upon a throne of sand. Then what would you have me do, old woman? Let her spread chaos in the name of forgotten goddesses. Let her work in silence," Heket replied. "Let her establish the hidden schools. Train the priestesses who will serve in secret. The feminine divine cannot be destroyed, only suppressed. And what is suppressed will eventually explode with greater force. Better to let it flow like the Nile, guided, but not damned." Osai considered this, his calculating mind weighing the options. Finally, he nodded slowly. "You may continue your work, but in absolute secrecy. No public rituals, no open challenges to the established order. And if word of this reaches the pharaoh's ears, it will not," Ankhesenamun-Tasherit promised. "The sacred feminine works best in mystery." So began the hidden renaissance of the goddess cults in Egypt. While the official temples served Ra and Amun-Ra, while the pharaoh played out his role in the great drama of divine kingship, another current flowed beneath the surface of Egyptian society. In houses marked only by subtle symbols, women gathered to learn the ancient ways. They studied the mysteries of Isis, the wisdom of Hathor, the protective power of Sekhmet. Ankhesenamun-Tasherit became known in whispers as the Hidden Mother, the one who could read the dreams of the goddess and interpret the signs written in sand and star. She never claimed divinity for herself, but those who worked with her recognized that she carried something precious, a living connection to the source of all creation. Years passed. Tutankhamun died young and mysteriously, some said from the curse of his grandfather's suppressed revolution. New pharaohs rose and fell. The great age of the pyramids became memory, and Egypt began its long decline from supreme power to conquered province. But through it all, the hidden current continued to flow. In her final years, Ankhesenamun-Tasherit retreated to a small temple in the Fayum oasis, where she spent her days writing, not in hieroglyphs that could be read by any scribe, but in the sacred script of the goddess herself, symbols that could only be interpreted by those whose inner eye had been opened. "What are you writing, mother?" asked Nefertiti-Sa, her most dedicated student. "The future," Ankhesenamun-Tasherit replied, her weathered hands still steady as they guided the reed across papyrus. "I am writing instructions for daughters yet unborn, for the time when the world will again hunger for the sacred feminine. They will know how to read these words, even if we are forgotten." She sealed the scrolls in a golden chest and buried them beneath the temple floor, marking the spot with symbols that would remain invisible to ordinary eyes. "The goddess preserves what must be preserved," she murmured as she smoothed the stones back into place. When Ankhesenamun-Tasherit died, she went peacefully in her sleep, a smile on her lips, as if she had seen something beautiful in her final dreams. Her students mourned in silence, then scattered across Egypt and beyond, carrying the hidden teachings to places where they might take root and grow. The official historians never recorded her existence. The cartouches speak only of pharaohs and their queens, of battles won and monuments built. But in the deeper currents of human consciousness, her legacy persisted. The sacred feminine could be suppressed, but never destroyed, could be hidden, but never lost. Sometimes, in the Museum of Cairo, late-shift guards report strange phenomena near certain sarcophagi, whispers in languages older than hieroglyphs, brief visions of women in white linen robes, the scent of lotus flowers in rooms that have been sealed for centuries. Scholars dismiss these stories as imagination, but the older guides from Upper Egypt just nod knowingly. They remember the songs their grandmothers sang, the prayers spoken in darkness, the wisdom that flows like the Nile beneath the surface of recorded history. The Eye of Ra still blazes in the sky above Egypt, powerful and absolute. But those who know how to look can see its companion, the hidden eye that watches from the realm of dreams and possibility, the feminine wisdom that transforms solar fire into the gold of illumination. Ankhesenamun-Tasherit's revolution succeeded not through conquest, but through persistence, not through proclamation, but through quiet transformation of hearts and minds across the generations. In her writings, discovered by archaeologists who didn't understand what they had found, she left one final message: the daughter of the sun never dies. She only waits in the shadow until the world is ready to see with both eyes, the eye that commands and the eye that receives, the light that reveals and the darkness that conceives. When humanity remembers this balance, the golden age will return, not as dominion over the earth, but as harmony with the sacred patterns that dance through all existence. Deepen, and so the hidden daughter of Akhenaton passed into legend, her name erased from stone, but written in the hearts of those who seek the integration of all opposites, the marriage of heaven and earth, the restoration of the sacred feminine to its rightful place alongside the sacred masculine in the great work of human awakening. And if you liked this story, you will definitely love the next one that's appearing on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave your like and activate the notifications. See you in the next one.